Welcome to Jam with Dr. Terry, where Jam stands for Jesus and me. I'm Dr. Terry, Children's Pastor for Faithful Central Bible Church. Children, have you ever had to do something you were scared to do on your own because you didn't think you were good enough? If so, what did you do? Did you pray about it? Or did you run in the other direction and stay in your comfort zone? Sometimes there are things we must do, but we don't feel like we can do them. When God helps us to do something that we've never been able to do on our own, God gets the glory instead of us. It builds faith for us and for those around us. It's a testimony of God's strength working inside of us. In today's The Filter, See as God Sees lesson, we look at how God used Moses, even though he was afraid and didn't think he could do what God told him to do. Moses needed God's help. He couldn't do what God wanted him to do all on his own. God took Moses' insecurities, his weaknesses, and his fears and used him to change history. God told Moses to go to Pharaoh to bring the Israelites out of Egypt. When Moses ran from Egypt, he probably never thought that he was going to go back. He and the people of Israel were enslaved. But Moses learned that God's plans are sometimes different from ours. Moses had trouble speaking, so his brother Aaron spoke for him. Together, the two of them, along with God, took a stand against Pharaoh that could have ended their lives. But God used Moses and Aaron to show many signs and warnings to Pharaoh. I mean, crazy signs, like water turned to blood. There were plagues of frogs and gnats and flies. God gave Pharaoh many chances to do what was right and let the people go. But his heart continued to be hard and he wouldn't let them go. Pharaoh would promise to let the people go if Moses would pray that God would stop the plagues, but then he'd go right back to doing what he said and didn't keep his word after God answered Moses' prayers. Children, imagine the courage it must have took for Moses and Aaron to confront Pharaoh over and over again. It was God's strength, not their own. It would have been easy for them to become discouraged and give up, but they were obedient to God and kept going back and back to Pharaoh. It may have seemed useless, but God wasn't finished, and the best was yet to come. Children, there will be times when we must do something that we simply can't do on our own. We have a choice though. We can run or we can allow God to make our weaknesses strong. It didn't look like anything was going to change with Pharaoh, but Moses was persistent. Eventually, Moses would save an entire nation. When we allow God to work through us, miracles happen. So, children, repeat these words in prayer to God. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. Again, when I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. Children, thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'm Dr. Terry, and I'll see you next time.